This conversation is too good. We are skipping the intros this week and getting right back into the conversation from last week, picking up where we left off.
That's when he kind of peaked because he had a cousin who was like flamboyantly gay, like over the top gay. And then that's when, but rather than him saying, well, is there a dude? He was like, well, I ain't raising no punk now, so you better not be no punk.
Oh, he knew.
Oh, he knew.
He knew. Yeah. Parents know.
They do. My mom.
Even though when I told my mom, she was like, I had no idea.
Oh,
and I was like,
yeah, you did.
Okay, Mom.
My mom caught me in the bed with a girl and then still talking about, I didn't know.
I thought y'all were just going playing hide and go get it.
Listen, my mom knew
what?
before I knew, so there's that.
There's that. They know.
They know.
Relax.
Yeah, my mom.
She didn't want to
was-
believe it though. My mom was in denial.
Yeah.
And denial is a real
It's
thing.
a phase.
It is.
It's not just a river in
Right.
Egypt, guys.
It's a real thing. Denial. You know what I'm saying? Denial river, bruh. But no, she I think she was in denial. And so I'm married now with a woman, and before we got married, I knew that Nicole is her name, and we were about to get super serious. I was looking toward engagement and all of that, and I wanted to break the news to my mom. Like, Mom, because I didn't want to say anything to her or the rest of my family until it was something worth saying. I'm not about to be just talking about I like women for the fucking ruckus of I ain't doing
Because we
all
got
that.
emotions
Screaming
and
from the
screaming
rooftop.
out.
Yeah, I
Right.
ain't doing all that.
It
My
is.
family comes from a very conservative, religious, Southern Bible Belt.
Oh, yeah. My
Deacons,
family was
ushers, the choir directress, the whole nine.
Oh, Lord, you were deep in that shit.
We were
Ooh.
super deep. I was the drummer of the church, the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm not about to talk or confirm anything because of the environment, although I had my interests, because I like both men and women. And so for them, they just...
Plot twist.
You like you like men, so they were hopeful, right? And so I wouldn't... Let's just not talk about nothing until something is for sure. And so when I was for sure that I wanted to proceed my life with Nicole, it was time now to have this talk. And at the time, my best friend was with a woman, I think, and my mom was asking about my friend. And I was like, yeah, that's her girl or whatever. And my mom was like, I just don't know. It was something she said, and I just took the whole conversation and brought it to me. Mom, but what if it was me? If it was me, then what would you it was a real cool moment to just kind of really break that ice. And for the first time ever, I felt like there was a moment where she actually had ears to hear me and some eyes to see me and to just stop the shit and listen to your daughter.
Right.
Not all this denial and all this mess, and I think I got through to her like, Mom, like, I've been gay, bruh.
But I just told you I was bi to make you feel good. Like, there's hope.
And so she was like, for real? And like, again, this was after she found me in the bed with a woman. And I'm looking at her like, you serious?
Y'all
Like,
just
you're really in this moment having this reality moment, like,
Wow.
I was
But I
like,
mean,
oh my gosh.
How do I put this? I don't fault my father because, like I said, he was a product of his upbringing. But when you're straight, you have your perspective because it's like you have this idea of like pussy. And it's like, how the fuck you gonna look at a nigga and be like, oh, that's shit I want right there. Because in their mind, they can't fathom that because it's like,
I think if you're
It's
straight,
like-
you're straight, and you just can't understand
Yeah.
homosexuality.
Yeah.
I really think that.
And one thing, like I got a lot of straight homeboys, and they're like, you know what, Drew? One thing I like about you is that you've never tried to push an agenda on me. And I was like, an agenda?
An agenda.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
And I said, let's break this down. I said, what you mean by the agenda part? And he's like, you're just you. And I was like, that's because that's me.
Right.
And I said, but you got to understand. I said, like, flamboyant men aren't my cup of tea either. However, me being gay, I understand that it's a spectrum.
It's a spectrum.
Absolutely.
It's a spectrum. So it's like when a flamboyant dude approaches me, I'll be like, oh no, I'm good, and that's it.
That's it.
And
And
I said
straight
it's-
people don't often
they don't-
understand that. Because
exactly.
again, it was just gay.
Yeah.
Right?
Right?
Like, you
Like,
like
one big
women,
pool.
you like all the women.
All the
All
women.
of
You like all
Me
of them.
too.
Yeah.
I don't
You're
know.
looking at me? Oh no.
And have y'all heard this thing? Oh, you gay? Oh, I got somebody I
Yep.
can hook you. And then
Yes.
No.
they present this motherfucker. He looked like the last troll. The last troll with a Coach bag. I'm like, God, you
Yes.
think I like that? And so, like,
Exactly.
one thing how I got through my stream homeboys is like, they were like, "Oh, I'm cool with you as long as you ain't gonna try to hit on me." And I'm like, "No, you."
Ew.
And here goes. I was like, "Oh no, that's never gonna happen."
Yeah.
And they go,
They get offended.
and then they go, "What you mean?" And they like, you gay, right? And I'm like, yeah, but I got tastes. I said, do you want to fuck every bitch you see? And then they like, no, some of them bitches are trolls. I'm like, exactly. And they go, so you trying to say I'm a troll? I'm like, exactly.
You
and they feel as good. They be feeling good.
God.
I had this one dude, like one of my homeboys. I had to stay. Nah, you need to stay in your lane. And this motherfucker was like, you mean this? And he was like getting stripping in front of me. And I'm like, bruh, I have known you since like high school. Like, I'm not from Arkansas. I'm not finna fuck my brother.
Oh, Lord.
Not from Arkansas.
I'm not from Arkansas, Mississippi. You know, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Western part over more the east part.
Backwoods situation.
West Virginia.
I
Country
think
home.
that we're moving kind of away from that, and it's like, okay, because there was a point in time where there was not a lot of gay people.
Yeah.
And I feel like I got with people and I stayed with people just because when am I going to find another gay person?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, there were standards, but wow, there's a gay. She gay? Okay.
Okay, let's go get it.
Yeah.
Let's bounce on that.
Yeah, let's bounce on
Yeah.
that. So, but we are moving away from that. And so, I do appreciate the more people, the option, more people coming out, because the amount of people that I have been with that I have not exactly been attracted to, but just was, they is gay,
They were there.
I'm gay, we all gay.
We gonna be gay together.
Yeah,
Be gay together.
right? Because I can grab your titties without looking at your face. So
But that spectrum is real, though.
No,
so
It
now,
is. It's a spectrum.
you know, the whole, both, you know, I feel like everybody got some gay in them, you know, spectrum-wise, but, you know, I just had a...
You know, I wish in a utopian society people would be able to find out what they like. You know what I mean? Because like
The freedom to...
the freedom to experiment and to do what they want. Because like, you know, like I said, I got cousins and stuff, like we all from Fifth Ward and they hood ass niggas and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, you know what? And they've always been cool with me. Because they were like, you know what? Even though you get down with that funny ass shit, da-da-da, you still my family and all that kind of stuff. And I would always challenge them. I'm like, you think you will ever cross it? And they're like, oh, nigga, no, nigga. But that's because society tells you that if you're a dude, you need to be with a female. If you're a female, you need to be with a dude, and so forth and so on. And especially in the black community, it's very much like you already got issues being black because, you know, society is already against you. Why would you choose this path? And I'm like, it's not a choice. Because I'd be like, if I had a choice, oh, baby, give me the big titty bitches all day, every day.
I mean, it's like they say, it's like you ask a straight person, so
Yeah.
did you choose to be straight? And they'll be like, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
It's the exact same thing.
So what do you
motherfucker.
what do you think this is a choice for me?
Right.
Who I'm attracted to? Because like I said, I done seen some bad, like some people like when I've been out with my straight homeboys and they're like the girls be like, oh hey Drew, and we know each other, and they like, you ain't never tried to hit that? I'm like, nope.
Don't want it.
Don't want it. Sorry. And they're like, well, hook me up. I was like, nah, because you trash.
Right.
I'm not going to hook you up with them because you trash. Like, she's a very good person and she, like, has goals and aspirations. And I'm not let your little cocaine dick come in here and try to...
Cocaine dick.
No, because, I mean, like, some of my cousins, they are very attractive. And I know you gonna just fuck her life up. She gonna be like, I gave my life to this nigga and he did this to me. Nah, and I don't want her coming to me talking about, Drew, why do you tell me your cousin was like that? I was like, well, look at me.
Comes back on you.
No,
That's horrible.
yeah.
All right. Do you consider masturbation a form of self-care?
Yes.
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 Period.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I masturbate
There
like
was one
4 or
person-
5, 6 times a day.
There you go. Somebody, there you go.
There's one person I met that said that she didn't, and I was like,
She
but-
didn't. Why?
But how? Like, if you
She
don't
didn't
know-
masturbate or didn't consider it self-care?
She doesn't masturbate.
She didn't masturbate.
Like,
And I'm like, but how do you know what you like if you don't know what you like for yourself? Like, I'm so confused.
How do you know what you like if you don't know where your spot is?
Exactly.
For them to hit that spot.
Exactly.
what are you doing?
To make
Just
you
laying in bed
spot.
and you can't go to sleep.
Only thing I can think of is like she's probably a pillow princess in real life. Probably. Cause like how you
I
not?
can't stand that.
How do you
Like,
not?
you ain't gonna do shit. You just want me to do all the... Okay, first of all, I am 265 pounds. If you want me to be humping and sweating and your ass is just laying there,
I know you lied.
bitch, I'm
We both putting in work. Hold
like,
on.
I'm not saying like, okay, it's not like I'm
it's a
not a gold
Yeah.
star gay. I was with this girl, like that's what she felt like she had to do. She just laid there,
No.
and I'm like, bitch, if you don't wiggle a lip, or something,
Wiggle a lip.
Wiggle.
like
Just
she just
wiggle it.
laid there, and I'm like, oh, I can do
A
much
little
better than
bit.
this.
Oh
Yeah.
my, that's horrid.
Yeah.
It is.
I feel like if I don't move, I'm gonna fall asleep. Honestly.
I've fallen asleep on sex a lot of times.
Oh my.
I did after I
The
came.
blowjob was not good at all.
I'm like, what were they doing then? They fall asleep.
I mean, people have this idea that they're just doing something, and based on the previous maybe 78 people they've slept with,
70. Oh, Lord.
I don't wanna
but
play no
it's like, I don't like the ramming and the jabbing.
What's that?
It's just an adapter.
Oh, okay. I was like,
She's like, it's just
I was like,
an
is the podcast canceled? Oh Lord, I need to take my drunk ass home.
Shots.
Okay. Shots. Where's the shots at?
I warmed up.
Oh Lord.
She's all warm.
Yeah, they say that the best thing for a hangover is more alcohol.
Yes,
Yeah,
I agree.
keep it
I
I
concur.
warmed up at this
I
point.
don't
Where's
think
the shots?
that that's a thing, but go ahead.
Well, Marla, you don't have to partake.
Marla, push your earring in.
No, I tried, and then
It's
like
not-
this thing makes it come back up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
She didn't
okay.
even feel it.
But as you were saying,
I
Marla.
didn't feel it at all. But yeah, I don't know. People have this idea that they're just doing something, and because people be faking it, and they don't tell the other person they're really not enjoying themselves.
So you go to sleep?
Yeah, they just make up the moaning, they make up the vibrations, they make up the orgasm, and the person thinks
Not
that
a vibration.
I was hoping somebody else caught that. I didn't want to lose my shit when she said that. I was like, and then when you said it, I just couldn't hold. I said vibrations.
It's
yes.
a whole performance for some people. So some people think they really just
Getting,
skilled.
they think they're getting in it.
And they're not.
They're not.
They're
Okay.
not.
They're doing the same thing for every person that they're
Yeah.
with, and every person they're with is different.
Doesn't
And
like the
Okay,
same thing.
well you don't want to fuck with me because like I said, I'm past that age of being, oh my god, it's so amazing. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Nah, nigga, if you ain't sucking my dick right, bitch, you need to put a little bit more spit. Okay, that's too much spit. Okay, bring it back a little bit. Like I had this one dude, like I can tell that nobody had broken his spirit before because he started sucking my dick. The first, like, if you hawking in the back of your throat, what are you gonna do?
What are you doing?
I pushed him against his forehead. I said, "What you finna do with that?" He's like, "I'm finna get your dick wet." I was, not with cold.
Not with
No.
Slim.
Not with cold.
Slim.
That's cold. That ain't no phlegm. That's cold. That's flu. That's typhoid.
Allergy
That's
season.
coronavirus. Swine flu. What is the other ones? Bird flu.
H1N1.
H1, all that. He
That's
did that
stupid.
shit. I said, "Nigga, get up, bye." And he was like, "You're putting me out." I was like, "Yeah, because clearly you don't know how to suck no dick."
Yeah, you're.
I don't like
you're not
sucking
doing
dick,
it
but I know how
right.
to suck a dick.
Yeah.
It don't start with.
You know,
It don't start with that.
don't start with that.
oh my goodness.
It don't start with that. And I was like, "Damn, back to the drawing board."
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you
Yeah,
gotta know what
performance
you-
and faking. That's a.
Yeah.
I don't
But I think
know.
first you have to know what you like to tell somebody what you like, and I think to find out what you like,
you got to
through
masturbate
masturbation.
a shit ton.
Right?
I've masturbated for the last 25 years on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's nothing like fucking a dude who has a chasm for an asshole, and you had to fake nothing because you were like, I can't.
Oh.
What?
Yeah,
What?
I'm sorry.
Like a black
Nobody-
hole?
I don't know what a chasm.
It's
chasm.
like it's just so
It was.
open.
He had no grip.
Okay.
Oh.
It's,
Oh.
Yeah. It was one of those things where he was like, "Oh yeah, you go get this shit. You go nut in 5 seconds."
Oh.
Mind you, fast forward an hour and a half later,
Oh.
Yeah,
And
we
I'm still like-
you still trying to.
and mind you, this is the
Nothing.
smallest I've ever been.
Okay.
Like I was a plush pal. I was 350 pounds plus.
Okay.
And at this time, I was like 325, and this motherfucker was. I,
need a
was
shot.
like,
Courtney,
child.
the conversations. I need after
You
the.
didn't. Wait.
Oh,
Yep.
is it too much for you, friend?
Well, no,
Booty chasm?
this is good. I just.
Y'all did this to me. This is your fault.
You're you're
This
four
is your
cocktails
fault.
in. I've had two.
Because I told y'all I don't talk unless I got liquor in my system.
You did say that.
And she got the whole fucking
That's
bottle
what
of
I'm
Hennessy.
saying. She said it was just shots at this point.
Jesus Christ.
No,
You know, this is, see, Coco asked know what she did.
Dude.
Because she was like, "Hey, would you ever want to be on a podcast?" And I was like, never been on one. I never
Let's
heard,
get it talking.
whatever.
I'll try it.
And then she's like, "Yeah,
Let's get
I think
'em.
you would be good. You'd be a nice male perspective. I can't
Male
talk.
perspective.
Perspective. There you go."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Girl, I don't even know what I would talk about." And she's like, "Okay,
It's okay.
that's fine. Just come on." And I'm thinking I'm gonna be in here having the Lord's Supper, eating the crackers and
On a
drinking the
Sunday.
wine.
Oh, that's good there. Oh, that's a good.
And
mix.
next thing I know, I'm spilling my whole heartstrings
Are
out.
we talking about booty chasms?
Booty chasms.
That was horrible. That was horrible. Like,
Okay.
but you know, it's experience. So like now, when I be with a dude, and if I falling and shit like that. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, it's
I'm
time
good.
to go.
You
You're
just-
not
you
even
just- let's
playing
do something
around.
else.
Yeah.
Let's just do something else.
Hey, yeah, let's read the Bible.
Let's no, okay. I wouldn't say that, but you can do other things
Yeah.
for pleasure. Like you don't have to.
Cat in a hat.
Okay.
Maybe. No.
I will say though
Maybe
that
some
for
Kegels to
me,
tighten that up. Back up.
for me, sex with women has always trumped sex with guys. It's just, penetration with guys. Not a lot of foreplay, and so I'm like,
They just want to get in there.
they just want to get in there.
Yeah.
They just want to get
They don't
in
wanna
there.
get you all hot.
They don't want to like. There's other things, guys, other than like legit penetration. You know?
No, I don't need the
That's why
penetration.
I'm like, I feel sorry for straight women sometimes because I'm like, if they're with a dude and it's like, oh, just because he nut, that means it's over. And it's like, no, it doesn't
No,
have
it
to
doesn't
be.
mean that-
Like, there
no.
are so many other things you can do.
Yeah, but
Like,
go on.
But I
Join
mean,
me.
But that's and it's funny that like it's okay. So there's a lot of things going on with like straight dudes, and they're like, oh, these bitches ain't what they used to be, and everything like that. I said, but you gotta understand,
they used to
women
be?
back in the day, they had no, how do I say that? They had no outlets. Like up until the 70s, they couldn't own land. Like you couldn't build a life for yourself
Right.
as a woman. Like you had to depend on a man. So that's why, you got married and you stayed married until the day
Forever.
you died. But nowadays, women have more structure. They can do things for
We're
themselves.
CEOs now.
Yeah. And
Entrepreneurship.
I feel like that it's really it hurts the male ego in some sense, because for so long being a man, you're taught you're going to be the provider, you're going to do this and everything like that. But now you got the women who are able to do that for themselves, and they're coming at you like, okay, I can do that for myself. So what else do you have?
Yeah.
But then it's a double-edged sword, because on the other hand, men are starting to ask women, okay, well, yeah, cook, clean, I can do that for myself. So it's on both ends of the spectrum, because I know men who are doing their shit, and they have women who are just pretty, and they're like, okay, bitch, you pretty, but
What are you doing?
Yeah.
what are you doing with
Right.
yourself? Like, I'm making my own money. If I don't want somebody to cook, clean, I can call a maid in. So I feel like we're we're I don't know, at some kind of smorgasbord of like women understanding their worth, men understanding their worth, because for so long men were told you're going to be the provider, but
the protector.
and the protector, but that's been taken away. You know what I mean? To a certain extent, because women are like, oh, I'm a CEO, I'm doing that.
yeah.
It's like how is straightness going to go? Straight people going to go forward from here, because
Right,
it was a
they're
dynamic for
struggling
so
out there.
long that
Yeah.
men were the breadwinners and so forth and so on. But now women are coming along and being like, okay, I got that, I can do that, da da da.
What does that look like?
What is
Gender
that?
roles now being.
I really feel like gender roles are just,
Yeah.
There's no such
Going
thing
out the
anymore.
window. There's no such thing.
especially if you get with a female nowadays, because they are those CEOs and so forth and so on. When they have kids, they're not going. You're gonna have to rear some of this shit, like.
Period. Cook,
My-
You don't
nigga.
have to.
And so
Listen.
because for so long it's been male role, female role, and now, like I said, everybody's doing their own thing, and now you having these kids, and so women are like, okay, bitch, I'm not gonna cook, clean, da 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 da. I gotta go back to work.
I gotta go back to work. We're bringing work home, and work dynamics and work demands are
And then-
increasing.
And then we live in a society where you need two incomes if you want to live nice.
Nigga.
Unless you just making six figures.
My nigga.
Now, even if you're making six figures, like high six figures,
6 figures, yeah. That's
But no, but, I mean, majority of us are not making six figures. Let's be realistic about that.
I am not making six figures.
Exactly. I'm lying. But so that's where it boils into like, we need to start having more conversations in straight society. It's like, okay, because like I'm on YouTube and you see all these men like, oh, women are like this and da 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 da. And I'm like, I get it. It's the Western world. Women are more sexually free and all like that. But what are you doing to adapt? Because they're not going back.
Yeah, and it's not even all women though, because the thing that confounds me is you have the men that complain about women are not the way they used to be. Then you have the women that complain, well, y'all are making it. Y'all are girl bosses, and that's gross, and y'all are not being traditional women. Why don't y'all find each other?
Yeah.
Like how y'all have the same complaints? Find each other and get with each other. But then they do it and it don't work.
Well,
Because women be like, we want somebody to lead. But
No,
then
they
when
don't.
they get there,
Women
they
nowadays
want their
don't.
voice heard. It's like nobody's trying to hear your voice. Like, I have the money, I'm providing. That's what you wanted. I gave you the life that you wanted,
Yeah.
and now you want more.
I think what women need to understand is that as men, we are bred to take charge.
Yeah.
And if you meet a dude who is like willing for you to run over, I don't want to say run over. Okay, if you meet a dude who's willing to be like, okay, baby, whatever you want, he's quote
not a
unquote
leader.
He's not a leader. And but I also understand not every man is meant to be a leader. But the majority of dudes majority of dudes were taught like you got to be the breadwinner, you got to be da 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 that kind of stuff. But it's some dudes out here who are not breadwinners.
You know,
who
that's
are not
tough. I think women are bred to be able to take care of yourself in the event you find a niggas ain't shit type nigga. Right?
I
and
hear
so
that.
what happens is you have these women, young black, beautiful women going to college, getting master's degrees, being educated, being ambitious, and doing the, you know, entrepreneurial whatever.
Yeah.
And being strong-minded and being who we are. And then, let's say we find a really quality guy who's bred to lead. How then do we, like, you know what I'm saying, be submissive under that? And we're not necessarily taught that. Like, low-key, I have not been taught how to cook. I want that, so I have, in my own time, you know what I'm saying, like, done that. But for some reason, in our generation, from my elders, damn elders, from elders to me, like, they didn't teach me the recipes of the family. They didn't teach me whatever, you know, as far as being submissive. And so here we are now trying to, like, blend our, I'm totally speaking hypothetically, but
I'm just trying to figure
but
out
like,
where do we go from there,
how do
because
women who are bred to be self-sufficient, how do you then become submissive? And we struggle in that.
I think submission takes a different, it needs to take a different role. Like, are we going to be are women going to be the submissive that they were when my mom was a child, when her mom was a child?
Probably not.
No.
I think that time is dead.
Yeah, we're wearing dresses and skirts. I mean, in
but
church.
the thing about it is that, but I think what needs to happen now is that men and women need to go forward knowing that, okay, we both gonna bring something to the table. And like I said, for so long, women couldn't bring something to the table. I mean, it's just been 30 years that you can get a job, you could buy a house, you can own your own land.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of men don't understand that. They're like, why are women so that? I said, you gotta understand that, like, women before 1979 could not own their own land.
Which is not that long ago.
It's not that long ago. It's like, I'm 40.
Almost
But
40
you're 40.
yeah.
I'm 41. I was born 81. You were born at what?
83.
83. Like, that was just a few years before we were born.
Right.
Think about that shit.
Right.
And I said, when something is not accessible to you, I mean, look at the black community.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody looks at us and be like, oh, why aren't y'all more progressed? Like, I have Africans tell me, like, I don't understand the black man in America because you have all of this and you don't understand how you do. And I was like, nigga, you weren't here.
I know you fucking lying.
I said, if you were born and raised here and understand the oppression that you go through, not only by white people, but by your own kind, because we have this crab in a barrel mentality where we feel like,
why are we that way? I hate that.
It's hung over from, it's hung over from slavery because, you know.
I think so. I think that, go on.
And it's one of those things where everybody's like, why can't you let it go? I was like, you can't tell you can't tell a person what to hold on and not to hold on to.
Right.
I understand. Why are you clapping out there?
It's okay.
I understand that. I have the wherewithal to understand that, a lot of the things that we do to each other as black people is from slavery.
Yes.
But when I bring it up to other people, they're like, well, this is this. I was like, no, it's a holdover from slavery.
I have a side note conversation about slavery.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to cut you off, though. You said you was on a roll.
No, I don't know. It's a conversation.
Oh, okay. I don't know. But, I question.
I'm gonna say. I'm about to throw this water bottle in there.
No, but I question and wonder, like, how much of the dynamic of the Africans who sold Africans into the African slave trade, like, there's obviously conflict within the African community.
There's none.
That has spilled over into us now as Africans in America and all over the globe. Like, there's conflict within our own race. And so for as much as we want to blame oppression from the other, like, well, that's true.
I mean,
and hella valid. However,
but
there's still something I haven't personally unearthed and discovered and dug into, like, how much, division do we have within just African culture and the descendants of Africans, for Africans to sell other Africans into slavery. Like, I feel like that has some generational spillover into who we are now, like why we as a people are so divided, crab in a barrel, like, does that stem from the division and conflict from
well Africa? I mean, my understanding of it is that the people that were sold by the Africans into slavery were enemies of the Africans. They weren't selling their own kind. Like, it may be a rival tribe.
A rival tribe, but Africans nonetheless, though, right?
But you got to understand, when a place is homogenous
Africa,
like that.
It's different countries.
Yeah, it's different countries, different tribes and everything like that. But you're all black. They don't see color. You know what I'm saying? Like color is a uniquely
dialect.
American, like black, white. That came from
You see
chattel
tribes.
slavery. They saw tribes.
They saw tribes.
because we're all black. So at the end of the day, I hear what people's like, oh well, Africans. I say but they were a rival tribe, and it doesn't make it any better because at the end of the day, looking from the American perspective, we're all black.
Okay.
But they didn't
Help
see that.
me, because
They didn't see that. So they
after seeing Women King, I'm like, wait a minute.
No, because what it was is that like because everybody's black, you're seen as okay. Well, what tribe are you at? And if you're a rival tribe and you're trying to take me out because I'm this tribe and da 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 da, it's just what happened to the Tutsis in Rwanda. The whole thing that happened there.
Yeah.
They all black, but you're
Genocide
different.
in Rwanda.
Yeah.
Different tribe, different
It's different
dialect,
tribe.
different.
So it's like one of those things that especially the whites, they like to bring up black people sold people into trap. I say but
Black
you got to
on black
understand.
crime and all
But
that.
nobody ever wants to go to the root of it. It's because they didn't see each other as black. They saw each other as a different ethnicity.
Yeah.
So quote unquote.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because how many languages are spoken in Africa?
Does that make
there's
it
so many.
better? No.
Right.
It doesn't.
And you're
Because
right,
at
there
the
are
end of the day,
different
we're
languages in
people.
different- in
We're
different
human
tribes.
beings. It shouldn't be that way. But at the end of the day, the reason they were able to sell those people into slavery is because they didn't see them as theirs.
And then meanwhile, moving forward, fast forward, you see America like, okay, white versus black.
Exactly.
That's all they see.
That's
not
right.
not
But
a
see,
homogenous of tribes.
A lot of people don't realize like the slavery in America was different from the other slavery in the rest of the world because
It
the slavery in the
was.
rest of the world, eventually you would be free because it was more indentured servitude. America was like a new slavery where it was like, okay, you're going to be a slave. You have kids. Those kids are going to be slaves. Those kids have kids. They're going to be slaves. It was never ending.
And it was torture.
And
it was
exactly.
trauma, and it was
trauma and torture.
There was a
And so
lot,
that's why like, when I hear people like, like say, oh, well, there was slavery in other parts of the world. I'm like, yeah, but eventually you saw a window. Like if you were Middle Eastern, if you were Middle Eastern, European,
London, European,
whatever, you saw it out because they said, okay, well, you got to be an indentured servitude for 20 years. So you looking at, okay, in 20 years, I'm going to be free.
Yeah.
But when you came to
Haiti,
them,
all of it.
yeah.
Well,
but once you
we had
came
war.
to them, once they started the slavery in America, and they were like, you never going to be free.
Yeah.
nigga.
Never.
You
Ever,
never going to
nigga.
be free. Oh, and then by the way, we going to breed y'all like animals. So that's why like the strongest buck, so to speak, they would have him sleep with multiple black women or whatever, because they wanted the veracity.
Yeah.
They wanted somebody who could be in the fields from sun up to sundown.
in the sun.
In the sun. So that's, And so like you have, the reason we have the animosity of like light skin versus dark skin here is because, light skins were seen as weaker,
Yeah.
so they were house Negroes,
niggas,
and they
or house
da
niggas.
da da da. They were seen as that. So that's why that's where the colorism comes into the black community. Because like I'll see a light motherfucker, and I'm like, look at this Al B. Sure, look at motherfucker.
I'll be
like,
sure.
He's like, oh my god,
gold bar.
it's so hot out here. I was like, yeah, you weren't bred right. No, dude.
I mean, they have us. We are still competing for spaces now, even though more have opened up. But it really is a competition, and of course, you want to be supportive. But whenever being supportive kind of messes you up in a sense, like I'm gonna prop this person up, but then it's gonna put me back. I mean, it just.
But and I wish we would get out that mindset because it's not like it's a finite pie.
It's
You know what I
not,
mean?
It's not.
And that's what I tell people. Like, I don't like. I know what the issue is with the black community because you feel like it's, if I can make it to here, then if somebody else comes up behind me, they're going to take it away from me. No.
Like there's only one spot.
There's not one spot.
There
There's
used to only
a
be
plethora.
one spot.
Like, dude, like you got to think about how industry works. There's people who are photographers today. Photography wasn't a thing until late 1800s. Think about that. Before the late 1800s, before they invented the camera, there was no photographers. You had to be really good at art, and you hand drew.
Portrait. You had to draw it.
You hand drew
Paint it.
portraits
Oil paint.
on paint, and that's what I'm saying. Like things are constantly coming to fruition. That I wish people would understand that it's not about a limited space. There's a plethora of spaces. There's always going to be a plethora of something. Because everybody think about technology. Going forward, I really feel like things are really going to be like
Exponential growth.
exponential.
In
It's going to be
technology.
exponential because like you think about the time from the iPhone to now. and what the technology looked like before. When the iPhone came out, that was like the top of the line.
It was flip phones and Nokia.
Exactly.
Wait. But
And Blueberry.
we were all alive when there was no cell phone. So let's just start there, right?
Yeah. So we can all speak into the truth. Like, you remember when it was like no cell phones.
House phone.
Cordless was the thing.
The first cordless
these
phone.
people, these
Don't
kids
know what that
nowadays
means.
don't understand what that is. Like, you seen that TikTok where she was like, "Where's that? Don't they have a mainline phone at home?" And I was like, "This is a house phone."
Yeah.
No. But you think about like how fast things are progressing. There's always going to be things out there that people can do. What I see is that people are not willing to apply themselves. You know what I mean?
They want to be YouTubers.
Yeah. And that's what I tell people. Like, you can go on the Department of Labor's website today, and there's millions of jobs that are unfilled because people just aren't in those fields.
Yeah. I don't know.
You know, it's because people aren't. They're just not
But
interested.
isn't that a thing that, like, since COVID, I think like companies are struggling to hire people
They are.
back right
I don't
now?
understand that.
They're struggling to hire
labor
people
shortage,
who are. Yeah.
and then there's supply shortages as well. But labor shortage for me is strange because I'm like, where are these people at? Now I hear they're still getting stimulus checks. I hear that.
Where?
Oh, I don't know. I ain't got.
Really?
Shit,
Okay.
my stimulus check
I
went
heard
away long ago.
unemployment and all whatever, whatever it is.
Baby, they cut
people
me
are
off, and I was
still-
like, oh, please.
people are still
Father.
benefiting off the government. Is what I've heard.
But you know what? I really feel like in today's society, there's something that you can do. It's just the lack of appliance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's jobs out there that you don't even need a degree. All you need to do is take a course to get a certification.
And people can't apply themselves for the simplest thing.
But I think that inherently is an American thing because we're so spoiled
we are
to
spoiled.
to things.
As a person in general construction, like people also don't have value in their craftsmanship.
They don't.
What is
really
that
don't.
about? It's every job at this point is just a paycheck. What I have to do, get this check, okay, be done. And some of that is, at fault or blame of technology.
It is.
Technology now can supplement labor.
It can.
Right. So
and it's only going to get worse.
let's just use some robots. Let's use some manufacturing. Let's use some automated systems to produce something, so your labor doesn't have to be as laborious and as involved. So people just kind of half-ass work. Okay, the machine gonna do it. Whereas back in the day,
You had to do it.
man. Carpentry was a true art.
Yeah.
We got machines for that shit
You
now.
got machines
Like, you know what I mean? And so here we are, and I guess that does also, contribute to a labor shortage, that people aren't working because they're replaced with machines and robots.
But then it's
And they learn a skill.
but the thing about it is that as human, okay, like you said about change a while ago, nobody likes change. But it's funny. I'm gonna say this. It's funny that my mom, she raised us, me and my sister, to be like, the only thing constant in life is change. But as she got older, she hated change. When I say this woman, oh Lord,
Yeah.
she was like, I don't like change. I was like, Mama, how the fuck you gonna sit up here and tell us about change when we raised us like, the only thing constant in life is change. The only thing constant in life is change. But as she got older and she realized that she couldn't keep up with the change.
You can't keep up with
You can't keep up with the change. Then she was like, I hate change. But when she was younger and she could adapt to it, it was like, oh, the only thing constant in life is change. And
Like us right now.
But that's the issue of humanity. Like
Yeah.
eventually you're gonna slow down to a point where it's like, bitch, I want to live my life. I don't want to deal with this shit and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think eventually the machines are gonna all put us out of jobs.
Oh no, I'm gonna keep up because
Especially-
I'm keeping up.
You have to keep. You
You
have
have
to.
to. You
have
Here's
to.
the thing.
Yeah.
As much as I despise like TikTok, or not as much of TikTok itself, but it's the learning curve
Yeah.
of TikTok. Like I
Social
still
medias.
have not gotten there. I have an account.
I gave up on TikTok a long time ago.
So I think
TikTok,
I have a
Snapchat,
Well, it was
Twitter.
I
The TikTok's
quit
the
after
Snapchat.
Snapchat.
Yeah.
I quit. It was Facebook, cool. Instagram, cool. The Vine, remember that? Do it for the Vine.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
Oh
came
my
and went.
God.
It came and went. But I was there, and it went. Fuck.
Yeah.
Then something else came and went. Fuck. Then came TikTok. I was like, I don't know if it's gonna come on that, so I ain't about to invest. Trying to learn this.
figure it out.
But then it stayed. So I'm like, oh shit. Okay, I think I need to learn this shit. Like.
But the U.S. government about to take it away because it's China. We don't like China.
But wait, but have you guys read the terms and conditions of your TikTok?
No.
Like, there's
Oh, baby, they own your life. They
Oh,
own
they do.
everything that you put on there is not yours.
Nope.
So if they want to use it to sell communist bombs, that you gonna sell some communist
Right?
bombs.
Just it'd be like
Yeah.
snippets of you saying, "I like bombs."
Yeah.
Listen.
No, but seriously.
They can.
But I mean, that's the age we live in.
I mean, I
Facebook
get it,
even.
but-
Like if you
Yeah.
post anything to Facebook, you don't own that shit.
But
No.
bruh, it's so important to stay current with technology because just simple
The world keeps moving that way.
simple
Yeah.
terminology of whatever it spills over into all technology, I think, not just social media, but in your TVs now, smart TVs. So my mom and them, the elders, because they had a whole table at the housewarming, but the elders was posted and did not move. They was like, this is our spot. Baby,
I'm not going
go
nowhere.
on and give me some lemonade if you don't. Anyway.
I got to go to the bathroom, hold my spot.
But they
if I
don't
come back in this
understand.
spot in here, I'm beating your ass.
They don't understand smart TVs, let alone social media. And I'm looking at them like, okay, scam artists are now using all kind of stuff.
And they're taking advantage of
the lack of intellect of an elderly person in our tech savvy society. And it makes me say I can't afford, as much as I don't want to, I can't afford to not stay current with change. Talking about change, so.
Yeah, but we're still at the age where we can adapt. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like I see where my mom was coming from, like raising us the way she raised us, was saying that only thing in life is constant is change. But as she got older and she couldn't keep up, and I started thinking like, damn, that's gonna be me in the next couple of years, because I'm like, God damn, 60 is right around the corner. Even though I'm just starting about 40s, Lord Jesus. But but my thing is that I tell myself is like, I will not allow that to hinder me, and that's all you can do is be like, no matter how hard it is, I may have to take a fucking HCC course.
Yes.
Come on, certification.
I need to wave my head.
Wait, HCC and Rice, they now have those little courses you can take.
Yeah.
What kind of courses? I'm sorry.
Various courses.
Education.
Like you just take one class. You don't do, like, you don't have to do anything towards a degree anymore. Like, let's say you want to learn about social media.
Sure.
They got different things to show you how, like, what the site is meant for and what you're supposed to do on there, but what could happen to you. Yeah. But people don't know about them normally, because
I want an Excel class.
You want to do what?
Excel.
Wait, go to Microsoft online, and like they'll teach you like everything online
Social
for free.
They'll tell you
like
free.
go to Microsoft.com. They will tell you how to work all of their.
I'm good with it, but there's some shit
that you like.
You're like, okay, actually, I could use that.
Right.
How you do
formulas
that
and all the things.
Shit, Excel is so damn robust and everything.
Okay. I want to thank you guys for giving your time today and for sharing your thoughts and opinions on the various topics discussed. To our listeners, grow your community and take a moment to like, subscribe, and or follow our guests on their respective platforms. If you want the people to follow you, you can tell them now where to follow you at.
Okay, I'll go first. I'm Marla Joy, and that's Joy with an I, because my aunt thought I should be special, and I am. So it's MARLAJOI.
On which platform?
Instagram.
I am Tina B Poetry, spelled nice and regular, TINA, the letter B, POETRY, and that's on all social media platforms.
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat.
Actually,
Twitter.
I say all, but again, going back to our last little conversation about social media, I'm on Instagram, Facebook.
I don't want to play no more.
And maybe TikTok. Don't go there. Just go to Instagram and Facebook.
I don't want to play no more.
You can find me everywhere else. Start on Instagram.
I'm going home. It's over. Okay, I'm on Instagram, Drewston.Texas. DREWSTON.TX.
Drewston. That's a dope name.
Like that.
That's dope. Drewston.
Okay, better represent the H.
But I haven't posted shit in there in a while because, like I said, my mama dead.
Okay.
My name is Drew. I'm just a member of Earth.
You
can find me on Earth.
On Earth.
On
In
Earth.
Houston, Texas.
Earth.
And we would like to meet you at our next Mocktail Hour. You can register to save your seat on www.cmhepc.com/register. And I hope to see you there.